Have you ever felt that pull to just know more, to feel, properly informed?
Oh, absolutely, to cut through the noise and grasp things quickly.
Exactly, without drowning in information. Well, if that sounds like you, you're definitely in the right place today.
Hmm.
We're doing a deep dive into something really foundational, a skill we use constantly, but maybe don't think about improving much. Listening.
It's funny how overlooked it is, isn't it?
Totally. So our mission today is to look at some practical, everyday ways to sharpen listening skills. Because honestly, it feels like a shortcut to, well, better understanding and better communication overall.
It really is the bedrock, though. When you improve how you listen, you're not just catching words better, you're actually boosting your ability to learn to connect with people, even, I think, to think more clearly.
That's a great point.
So this deep dive hopefully will get you thinking about the why behind these tips, not just the what.
Absolutely. And the insights we're going to unpack, they come from a really clear, pretty beginner-friendly guide. It's from Everyday English Listening Mastery, specifically their piece on how to improve listening.
Okay.
And this isn't just theory, it's full of actionable stuff for the real world. The guide really pushes this idea that strong listening leads to better understanding. And this is the interesting bit. It also makes you a better speaker.
Right. Which makes sense. But it begs the question, why are these techniques, which seem kind of simple on the surface, why are they so effective?
Good question.
Well, it's because they tap directly into how our brains actually handle language, how we build those connections. They turn passive hearing into something active, an engaged mental process.
Effective. Okay.
Yeah, which strengthens those learning pathways. It's like targeted practice for your ears and your whole language brain.
Got it. Okay, so let's dig into this roadmap then. The guide kicks off with something that sounds, well, obvious, but maybe isn't always easy to do. Listen every day.
Consistency.
Yeah. They suggest even just 10 minutes can make a real difference, like
Mhm.
a short podcast, maybe some music, even a cartoon.
Right.
And the key thing, they stress, is don't get hung up on understanding every single word right away.
Exactly. Focus on the main idea first, the gist.
The gist. So how does that connect to, like, the bigger picture of learning a skill?
Well, that consistent daily exposure, it's crucial for any skill, really. It builds familiarity, and importantly, it lowers the cognitive load,
Cognitive load, meaning?
the mental effort needed to process new stuff.
Uh,
When you let go of needing perfect understanding at first, your brain can just sort of tune into the rhythm, the sounds, the flow.
okay. Less pressure.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It stops you from burning out, makes it sustainable.
Yeah.
You're building those mental maps almost subconsciously.
That makes a lot of sense. Build familiarity, less pressure. But okay, what about when you do want to start connecting the sounds to the actual words more consciously?
Yeah, good point.
The guide has a neat trick for that, using something we probably all use anyway, subtitles, but using them strategically.
Subtitles, yes.
They say turn on English subtitles when you're watching videos, movies, online, whatever. It helps your brain link the sounds you hear with the words you see.
It's a visual anchor.
Exactly. And they say after a while, you'll actually find you don't need them as much, which feels like, wow, real progress.
That's a perfect example of what we call a scaffold in learning.
A scaffold, like for building.
Sort of, yeah. It's like a temporary support. Subtitles give you that visual backup, linking sound to text. You use the support to get stronger.
Right.
And then once those connections are firmer, the skill's more solid, you can take the support away. It's a really effective bridge to listening on your own.
Okay, a bridge. I like that. So subtitles help bridge the gap visually. But then how do you take that hearing and turn it into actually speaking better, more fluidly?
Right, activating the knowledge.
Yeah. The next technique they talk about is called shadowing. Sounds kind of active.
It is very active. They describe it as you listen to a sentence, then immediately repeat it right after the speaker, trying to copy their voice, their rhythm, like an echo.
Exactly like an echo.
And they reckon it's super effective for improving listening and speaking together.
It really nails that connection. Shadowing isn't just passive hearing. You're producing the sounds, mimicking the nuances, pronunciation, intonation,
All of it.
all of it. And crucially, it speeds up how fast you process and respond. It literally deepens the neural pathways for both understanding and talking.
So like strengthening the brain's language highways.
That's a great way to put it. Makes communication quicker, more automatic. Might feel a bit strange talking to yourself at first, maybe,
Huh, yeah, probably.
but the payoff in integrated skill improvement is huge.
Okay, that does sound powerful. But thinking about someone starting out, wouldn't focusing on all that rhythm pronunciation feel a bit much?
It could, yeah. Which leads to another point the guide makes.
The type of content.
Exactly. What you choose to listen to matters. They suggest starting simple, especially for beginners. Content made for learners.
Like specific podcasts.
Yeah, podcasts for language learners often have clearer voices, a more manageable pace, and, importantly, they say it's totally okay to pause, rewind if you miss something.
No shame in hitting pause.
Not at all. And another key tip they give is writing down new words or phrases you pick up.
Vocabulary building.
Right. But then, the crucial step,
Yeah,
try to use them yourself, actively.
that makes sense. So matching the difficulty level is important.
Hugely important. It's about finding that sweet spot, comprehensible input. Challenging enough to learn, but not so hard you get discouraged. Pausing, reviewing. That allows for deeper processing.
Okay.
And using the new words, that shifts you from just recognizing them passively to actually recalling and using them actively. That's how you truly own new vocabulary.
Oh, and the vocabulary. I like that. Okay, another interesting idea from the guide. Exposing yourself to different accents.
Oh, that's a big one. Very practical.
Right, because English is spoken everywhere with so many variations. So they suggest, deliberately finding stuff with British, American, Australian accents, maybe Indian accents too.
Broaden the exposure.
Might be tough at first, they admit, but it really prepares you for understanding English out there in the real world where it's messy and unpredictable.
This tackles a core challenge,
Mhm.
variability. Language isn't a single fixed thing. It's diverse, different sounds, different rhythms.
Yeah.
By deliberately listening to various accents, you're basically training your ears to be more flexible, more robust. You're building resilience in your listening.
Resilience. So you're ready for anything.
Pretty much ready for the wide range of voices you'll actually encounter day to day outside of, a structured lesson. It's like expanding your linguistic palette.
Expanding your palette. Okay, so let's just quickly recap the main strategies we've talked about for really boosting those listening skills.
Good idea.
First, there's the power of listening every single day, even if it's just, 10 minutes?
10 minutes works.
Then, using subtitles, but strategically, like that temporary scaffold we talked about.
Right, as a bridge.
And that active technique, shadowing, for hitting both listening and speaking.
The dual benefit.
Remembering to start with simpler content that's right for your level, learner-focused stuff.
Crucial for building confidence.
And finally, getting used to all sorts of accents to be ready for real-life conversations.
Preparing for that real-world variability.
Yeah, there's a lot of ground.
It's easy to feel a bit overwhelmed by the thought of mastering something new. But the real magic of these tips is in just doing small bits consistently.
Little and often.
Exactly. So my genuine encouragement to you, listening right now, is just pick one, or maybe two, and try them. Like today.
Don't put it off.
Right, just 10 minutes of focused listening, or try shadowing just a couple of sentences. It starts building momentum. And honestly, every little bit adds up surprisingly quickly over time.
That's really encouraging.
And maybe here's something else to chew on, a final thought. Improving your listening. It's actually about more than just getting better at a language.
Oh, how so?
Well, think about it. It's really about opening up whole new worlds, new information, deeper connections, richer understanding. When you genuinely master listening, you fundamentally change how you interact with everything around you. You get more from conversations, from media, from every interaction. So the question maybe is, what could you unlock just by learning to hear the world a bit more clearly, a bit more deeply?